What you are about to read now is not just book talk, but rather a personal experience of my suffering with obsessive-compulsive thoughts and how I dealt with it and overcame it, thanks to God. So focus very well. One of the most important causes of obsession is fear, which is a rejection of something that could possibly happen in the future. If you fear something, and the fear of this thing is repeated several times, and the fear may be accompanied by negative feelings, your mind will record that this is a matter you are afraid of. The obsession also, in a way, knows what you fear and simply whispers to you about it, and about the consequences that you fear will happen. Furthermore, your subconscious mind, since it has learned that you fear this matter, will constantly remind you of it until the intensity of the fear drops. But do not worry. I will tell you how to drop this intensity, and even how to overcome what you fear and what is causing your obsession. For example, a person who has an obsession with a certain disease is afraid of contracting it, afraid of the consequences that could happen if he contracts it, and of the psychological pain he will suffer from if this matter occurs. Since repeated fear is evidence of a lack of confidence, you may also imagine that if you contract what you fear, you will not have the ability to deal with the situation and with the accompanying thoughts, so you lose your confidence even more, and the fear increases more, to the point that if you encounter someone talking about this disease, you will not be able to listen, and you will change the TV channel or the place. And sometimes you remember the thing you fear, so you become upset and become afraid of the feeling you will feel if you remember that this disease exists and you might contract it. So your life becomes misery and pain, and you lose your appetite. And the reason is a matter that has not even happened, and most likely will not happen. It is an obsession. How do you deal with the obsession? In many cases, ignoring it is useful. Do not discuss with the obsession, and do not try to respond to it or prove your point of view. Rather, ignore it completely and continue your life normally. When the obsessive thought returns, ignore it as well, and time after time, your mind will understand that the degree of fear these obsessive thoughts has decreased, and they are no longer as important as they used to be. So it lowers their value, and their intensity decreases. Thus these thoughts diminish, and you gradually return to your normal state. There is another technique, which is raising confidence in front of what you fear. It's important to know that whenever confidence rises, the obsession decreases. Let's take an example, which is that you have a phobia of riding an airplane, meaning a fear. As we said, one of the biggest causes of obsession is fear, meaning the rejection of something that can happen in the future. So, the moment you think about your decision to ride the airplane, your subconscious mind and the obsession will do their role, which is scaring you, and the most important justification will be that the plane will fall. Your role here is to make an irreversible decision that you will travel by plane and actually do it. In the time difference between your decision and the time of riding the plane, and while riding it, you will face many negative thoughts. But surprise is that after your patience and perseverance, you will learn step by step how to deal with these thoughts and gain experience. Also, after you accomplish the task, confidence will increase and fear will retreat. Then leave the matter. And if you get the opportunity to ride a plane again, repeat the action, and the thoughts will return, but they will not be with the intensity of the first time. Moreover, you will have gained skills to deal with them, accomplish the task, and confidence will increase and fear will fade away more. To note, do what you fear does not mean that if you are afraid of jumping between two buildings, you should do that, because if you do this, you are simply crazy. Do the things that you are afraid of while you see many people doing them normally and you do not, such as riding a plane, doing medical analyses, or learning to swim. Note, do not try to overcome what you fear mentally in your mind between yourself and yourself, or find justifications that what you fear will not happen. Because since you suffer from obsession, you are confused, and often the obsession will find a way to convince you that the solution you found will not work. Surrender. Submission to God's will is also among the solutions. The cure for fear is surrender. The problem is that you try to control everything, and this is not possible. So accept that there are things that cannot be controlled, and learn how to live with the existence of things you do not control. If you are a believer in God, this helps a lot in surrender, because you'll try to do what is under your control, and trust that God manages your affairs, and He controls the things that you do not control instead of you. Finally, do not take the information and leave it aside. Any useful information, apply it so that it becomes deep-rooted and you see its result, and you must have persistence and determination. Do not focus on results, just apply. And if you are a believer, trust that God is capable of healing you from the obsession and from any disease. And do not forget supplication, for it has a great role in lifting afflictions. And get closer to God more, for all your affairs are in His hand. If you have any inquiry, I will be happy to respond to you. Like the video and subscribe to our channel for more tips and tricks.